I was slicing my cake when my sister cleared her throat. The room's stilled candles burned Lomi name, glittered in sugar across the frosting. "Before we eat," she said, hand resting on her stomach, "I have news." My husband didn't look at me, looked at his wine. She smiled like mercy I'm pregnant it's his. They expected the collapse screamed the glass, shattering against the floor. I felt none of it, just a quiet click behind my eyes, like a lock engaging. I set the knife. Downey Studi raised my glass. "To family," I said into truth. The past leaned in to listen. When I first met him, he made patience look like devotion. He waited for doors. She remembered details. She spoke about a future with the kind of certainty that makes you feel chosen. My sister adored him. Before I did, she always adored what was mine. Borrowed my clothes, used my laughter, learned my expression, and wore them better. At our wedding, she cried harder than anyone. Said she'd never seen me so happy. I believed Harry believed him. Trust is built from small, shared routine. Quiet morning, she learned how I take my coffee, learned how he lies by omission, how he smooths the edges until the center goes missing. When the trying began, hope moved in. Calendars appointments, the soft pressure of time. Months passed. Then, a year, he grew distant in ways that didn't bruise immediately. Longer showers, late night cheese, phone face down like a confession. I didn't accuse, he observed. The first sign was laughter. I didn't recognize it, floated from his phone one night while he slept. I memorized it. The second was perfume, familiar, expensive. Wrong on his coat. Third was my sister canceling dinners, then insisting on coming over unannounced, glowing with secrets she pretended were nothing. Patterns don't scream, they arrange themselves. The message came on a Tuesday, a slip, careless, arroganty, miss you, a heart, a timestamp. From a night he said he was working late. The name was saved as a nickname only she used when we were children. I closed the app. I washed my hands. He slept. Shock is loud for some people. For me, it sharpened everything, became precise. I didn't confront Jaime's scheduled appointments. He asked questions with my voice neutral. My eyes softy watched him perform concern while dodging accountability. Booked a fertility specialist under the pretense of progress. Tests reveal what lies cannot. When the doctor asked if we'd like individual assessments, I said yes. Me husband nodded. Relieved men like him prefer science when it absolves them. The results came back in envelopes that felt heavier than paper. Mine was cleanest, was definitive, a word that closes door. Sterile. I folded the letter once, then again he placed it in my purse beside the phone I'd begun to fill with screenshots, bank statements, timestamps. Evidence is a language I became fluent. Planning isn't rage's restraint with direction. I met a lawyer on my lunch breaks, learned how assets move, how silence protects. He opened an account he didn't know about and redirected my paycheck. He photographed documents. He copied keys. He memorized schedules. I invited my sister to lunch. Let her talk. She wanted to be seen. He let her be seen. He watched the lie struggle to breathe. When I asked gentle questions, he let her believe I was broken. She mistook stillness for surrender. The dinner was my idea. Birthday, family, candles, witnesses. Timing matters. Back to the table, back to the breath held by everyone who loved spectacle more than truth. My sister squeezed my husband's hand. He finally looked at me, then, searching for damage. Smiley raised my glass higher. "Last month," I said, "we did tests because hope deserves clarity." He shifted muscle, jumped in his jaw. "I got my results," I continued. "They were normal." A ripple. Me mother exhaled. My father frowned. I also got his. Silence isn't empty, it's crowded with consequences. I reached into my purse, placed the envelope on the tablet, slid it toward him. He didn't open it. The new. "Sterile," I said, not loud, accurate. My sister laughed, once a sharp, brittle sound. "That's impossible." I met her eyes, the ones that learned my expressions to sit. Her hand left her stomach. My husband's face, drained of color. Someone whispered my name. "There's more," I said. But first, congratulations. I clinked my glass against hers. You wanted a moment. I nodded to my phone, already connected to the speaker. A voice filled the room. Her voice recorded at lunch, confident, careless, naming dates, naming places, naming him. My husband reached for the phone too late. Then the bank statements appeared, passed gently down the tableau. Transfers, gift, hotel charges, signature, handwriting in the margins. The truth arrived in pieces, and each piece cut. I didn't shouty, didn't cry, watched understanding land where arrogance had lived. My sister's mouth opened, closed. She looked at our parents like a child caught stealing sugar. My husband stood, chair scraping, as tried to speak my name as if it were a spell. I've already filed, I said, secured my accounts. The house is mine. The lawyer will be in touch. Justice doesn't need volume. They left in fragments, apologies, half-formed promises, collapsing under their own weighty stady. Finished my cake. The candles had burned out, but the room felt brighter. Later, alone, I sat with the quiet. It didn't feel empty, it felt earned. Betrayal teaches you the architecture of people. They cut corners where they hide. Revenge, when done right, is simply the truth delivered with timing. I don't miss who I was before. She trusted easily. She believed love was enough. I raise a glass now to something better. To clarity, to control, the calm that comes when the story ends the way it should.